Oh, by the way, Republicans are doing this like weird thing now where Greg Abbott started this thing where he casually will just like bus migrants to DC and like other like blue states and shit. Right? Specifically to DC, though. And then immediately, of course, DeSantis got involved on that, too. Ron DeSantis, because he's such a clout-hungry piece of shit. And he started doing it, too. He sent him to Martha's Vineyard, which I think is pretty funny. And what they're basically doing, they are literally doing what they said the Democrats were doing, but couldn't find any Democrat that's actually doing that, right? So they just decided to do the George Soros thing themselves. They unironically did the George Soros thing. They were like, George Soros is busing migrants to liberal cities for the votes, right? And then they couldn't actually find one, so they just started doing it themselves, which is weird. It's like humiliating for the people. It like robs them of their humanity. You know what I mean? Yeah, it's like Steven Crowder cross-dressing. It's just always projection. And if this is true, apparently one migrant told the national correspondent for Fox News that he believes the border is open, which of course, you know, where did he hear that? Not from a Democrat. I'll tell you that much. You know who probably told him that? Some fucking Republican. It's insane. It's like, what the fuck are you doing? It's such a weird, it is such a weird thing that these guys are like, yeah, the border's open. They're telling Venezuelans the border's open and they're busing them into lip-tart cities. It's like, no, it turns out you're doing that. Like, you couldn't find a guy to fucking do that, so you're doing it now. Also, if anyone unironically thought the border was fucking open, that means they're probably watching Fox News, because the only place that ever says the border is open is fucking Fox News. I've never heard anybody be like, yeah, the border's open, please come in. I've never heard a single liberal news outlet be like, yeah, thank God, finally Joe Brandon is president and the border is open. It's just an invention of the Republican Party. Like, the most famous Kamala Harris moment is literally her being like, do not come. Kamala Harris being like, do not come. And then Trump being like, I'm gonna come. Do not come. The word is spreading about this in Mexico. I talked to a sheriff on the border who told me the cartels are using this as a way to encourage migrants to cross the border. Bro, that's hilarious. I'm sorry, but that's fucking hilarious. No one does disinformation like us to ourselves. No, it's just fucking insane. There is, I mean, I'm sorry. This is like a weird thing that is like weirdly not that bad. It's actually kind of good that they're doing this in a weird way, because I do feel like these migrants would be better taken care of in blue cities regardless. You know what I mean? So it's like, it's gonna, I personally think it might backfire on them. I'm not even kidding. Like, I literally, the people, like Martha's Vineyard is a terrible place to send them. And that's like specifically because they wanted like, they want to be pieces of shit, right? But if you're sending them to DC, or if you're sending them to like a big enough city, yeah, I think you can absolutely do that. Like, you can. In a weird way, I do think that that's like counterproductive for them, but it's actually overall good, kind of. Like, I haven't really been able to make my mind up on this. It's still dehumanizing because it's like they should be able to go through the proper protocol wherever the fuck they are, right? Like, it's kind of silly. A lot of these migrants that go to Texas, like, they have immediate family in Texas, you know what I mean? But as migrants arrive, Martha's Vineyard residents and businesses lined up to help. Food, coffee, bedding, and warm clothes have been arriving at the island. Dude, it's backfiring. I'm telling you. Why the fuck? They just literally thought like everyone's gonna be just as racist as we are. You know what I mean? It's like, why the fuck would they? Why would the cruelty really is the point, brother? Yeah, I mean, they're just doing it because, like, I think this is a really silly stunt. They're using tax dollars on this. There are negative consequences of this, like, first and foremost, like, you're taking away the autonomy of these people and you're mistreating them like they're not human beings or whatever, which is really fucked up, obviously. However, I do think that this is kind of backfiring on them, because you sent them to blue cities and those motherfuckers are going to take care of these people. You know what I mean? They're gonna help out. DeSantis sent them with a paper on where to go get a job, housing, etc., and gave them an address to a vacant lot. Literally evil.
Dozens of apparent migrants landed by charter flight on a rocky island in the Atlantic, Martha's Vineyard, Massachusetts. This was yesterday afternoon. They arrived as part of what Governor Ron DeSantis calls a relocation program. Many did not know where they were going, and local officials on the island were not given any advance notice of the flight's arrival.
Absolute psychopathic shit. I mean, 50 human beings. Remember, these are 50 human fucking beings. And you're functionally like kidnapping them and then trafficking them across state boundaries. And the only reason why you're allowed to do this is because no one sees migrants as human beings. Like, they just see them them as like completely devoid of any sort of rights whatsoever. This kind of thing would never happen. You can't do this to anyone. You can only do this to felons. You can only do this to homeless people. And you can only do this to migrants, most of them black or brown, by the way, predominantly black or brown. And that is exactly what's happening here. However, this can have a positive, like I said, this can have a positive impact. The underlying assumption is that these places are not going to want to take care of these people and that the voters themselves are going to be reactionary just like they are. But it turns out it's kind of backfiring a little bit.
Witnesses say the group wandered some 3 miles from the airport into Edgartown. Once in town, the migrants were met by volunteers who brought them to a high school where they were fed and later transported by school bus to a church to stay for the night. Volunteers said they were told by some of the migrants they did not know where they were, but were told they would be given housing and jobs. A statement from a DeSantis spokesperson read in part, Massachusetts, New York, and California will better facilitate the care of these individuals who they have invited into our country by incentivizing illegal immigration through their designation as sanctuary states.
Like low-key, he's not wrong, though. In a weird way.
Immigrants who were told that they would be greeted here with a place to stay and with jobs.
Massachusetts State Representative Dylan Fernandez arrived on the island Wednesday and called the move by the DeSantis government to transport migrants there with seemingly no coordination, quote, evil.
They're using children.
Yeah, I mean, they're using them as political pawns, right? Which is insane. They're using literal children. They are trafficking literal children to do like a gotcha. Like a political gotcha. And Fox News was, of course, on site when they got off the bus because this was the entire point. You were saying something about DeSantis being right. Are migrants being baited for the promise of sanctuary states? No. DeSantis, the only part of what DeSantis is right about is that these undocumented immigrants that are seeking asylum will probably be better treated in blue states, in sanctuary states. That's true. Sanctuary cities are better for migrants. It is just the fucking truth. And you see it. You see it, motherfucker, immediately. These guys came in and the first thing that they were met with is like a sea of support. Ultimately, they did something really fucked up and they treated these people as though they are not human. They took away their autonomy. They lied about the prospect of like a better future. Like there's no immediate jobs available because there was no coordination with the other states. Like if this was a normal fucking country and not just like, you know, white supremacists and light white supremacists fucking constantly duking it out in this never-ending political theater as they like try to figure out better ways of fucking over the poor, you would have collaboration. You'd be like, all right, there is like 10,000 migrants that we have here and there are areas of need. We should be able to better serve these migrants. These migrants would be better protected and better served in areas of need like Oklahoma, where there is like a labor shortage or something like that, which is still a little bit dehumanizing for sure. But you would offer them the opportunity. You'd say, hey, look, this is a place where there is actual housing. There is actual relocation programs. There are actual training programs. There are actually adequate translators. And that would be, opening up more additional jobs in places like that, right? And then you would say, hey, would you like to go here? That's how you would do this. And then there would be an actual fucking asylum process where the states are collaborating with one another and actually creating housing opportunities for the people that are coming. They just fucking kidnapped them and sent them over and said, hey, here's an empty lot where there's a building where you can live in or some shit, which is really fucked up. The strategy of busing undesirables north is not a new one. To embarrass northern liberals and humiliate black people, Southern White Citizens Council started their so-called reverse freedom rides, giving black people one-way tickets to northern cities with false promises, jobs, housing, and better lives. Yeah, this was a Klan tactic, by the way. Yeah, there's also this other stunt that is probably pissing off the Cubans and Venezuelans that already live in Miami-Dade County. Ron DeSantis' stunt of flying 50 undocumented migrants to Martha's Vineyard may play well on Fox News, but the fact that it was 50 undocumented Venezuelans who would escape the Maduro regime may not play as well in Miami-Dade County. Yeah, that's the other part of it. These are the good ones. You know what I mean? I thought these were the good ones, man. These were the ones who were running from communism. That's how you're going to treat your voter base, Ron? Most importantly, though, like I said, this probably will backfire because, I mean, these guys will most likely, you're handing a gigantic dub to blue states to be like, yeah, we took the fucking migrants that you shamelessly sent over like you're a part of the fucking Klan, and now they have incredible lives here, you fucking piece of shit. By the way, this is human trafficking, and there is legal precedent for prosecuting this, I think. Governor Newsom has called on the Justice Department to investigate the interstate transportation of migrants. Like millions of Americans, I've been horrified at the images of migrants being shipped on buses and planes across the country to be used as political props, clearly transporting families, including citizens across across state lines under false pretenses is morally reprehensible, but it may also be illegal because I think it is. You can't just like fucking ship a bunch of humans, dude. You can't do that. This is like that Platoon moment, a movie that I just watched on a plane flying into Los Angeles, California yesterday. But it's like that moment in Platoon when they actually enter the fucking Vietnamese village and Charlie Sheen has this like come to God moment where he recognizes the humanity of the fucking Vietnamese, that they are bullying and brutalizing and raping and murdering unjustifiably.
Buses filled with migrants from our southern border have just arrived outside Vice President Kamala Harris's residence at the Naval Observatory in Washington, D.C.
I mean, dude, it's so fucking obvious what they're doing. This is so gnarly, dude.
Good morning, Steve, Ainsley, and Brian. This bus just arrived moments ago. I talked to some of the folks. Apparently, this bus has come from Del Rio, Texas. That's what a gentleman on the bus told me. And these, pardon me, ¿de dónde eres?
De Venezuela.
¿Venezuela? ¿Habla inglés?
No.
¿Sí, no? ¿No? La presidenta Harris dice que frontera cerrado.
Dude, I love this. This is so funny. La Presidente! Hey! Hey, you! ¿Dónde está la biblioteca? ¿Dónde está la Presidente Kamala Harris? Didn't some Republican Congress or Senate member organize this shit? Yeah, DeSantis did. You knew that this was gonna happen. You couldn't find like a person who could, you know, translate. You were there when they're getting out of the bus, so clearly you're collaborating.
La frontera es cerrado or abierto?
Abierto.
Abierto. So what she's saying, Steve, I asked her if Vice President Harris says that the border is closed. She says it's open as we see these migrants coming across now.
Wait, did she even say that? I mean, I can't speak Spanish, but I don't think that... Did she even say that? The whole, like, the border is open meme comes from this guy unironically being too stupid to bring, like, an actual capable Spanish speaker with him. She said it was open, but the way he asked the question was fucked up. What did he say, though? Him, border closed or open? Her open. There is not enough context. He baited. The thing is, don't we already have, like, a special treatment for Venezuelan migrants, by the way? They might unironically think the border is open, whereas, you know, Mexicans know that that's not the case. If you're from Guatemala, if you're from Mexico, if you're from any of these other countries that is not escaping communism, right? Then it's not open for you. But these are still asylum speakers, right? These are still asylum speakers. So technically, it is legal for them to be seeking asylum in the United States of America. It's additionally legal for Venezuelans to be seeking that because they're escaping communism.
There have been about 7,900 migrants on over 190 buses coming to D.C., more than 2,200 on more than 40 buses to New York, and of course about 5 buses to Chicago with a little over 300 migrants. ¿De dónde eres?
Buenos días, ¿cómo está?
¿Dónde está la biblioteca? My friend, I see you're wearing an American hat. ¿Dónde está la Venezuela, my friend? Hello?
¿De dónde eres?
No, no entiendo, no inglés.
¿Habla inglés?
No.
Okay. Hola. ¿Cómo estás?
That's so fucked up, bro. That's like a literal baby, dude. Homie's got the pajamas on and shit. What are you doing, bro? That's a child. What the fuck? That is actually insane.
¿De dónde eres?
Venezuela.
Venezuela? Me llamo Griff. ¿Cómo se llama?
Gaby.
All right. Buena suerte. As you can see, children coming across here.
Okay, I'm gonna be honest though, like this is gonna backfire, I think. Like I think Republicans are running on the idea that like everyone else is gonna be just as racist as they are. Like the people that put this together were like, oh yeah, people are gonna see this and be like really fucking racist about it. When in fact it's like you're showcasing the humanity of people that are trying to make a better life for themselves. Not only that, but also these are people that are escaping communism, so they're the good kind of migrants too, regardless of how fucking brown they are, right? I just don't see, yeah, look at all these rapists and criminals coming off the bus is not gonna fucking work. Exactly. When you can very clearly see that they're just like normal people. And they are. They always are normal people. You forgot that they are in fact brown, so Fox viewers will see them as animals? Nah, man. I don't know, dude. I can't look at this and go, wow, these guys, I can't comprehend how people would look at these people and go, these guys are very clearly doing crimes. They're criminals. You see a fucking child in a Marvel shirt, dude. That's all. Like the only difference between this kid and like any other average random kid is that he's a little bit more tan, dude. You crazy? You think Fox News grandparents don't have fucking grandchildren? He's got the Marvel pajamas on, dude. That's crazy.
They don't know where they're going to go because there's no one from the D.C. Office of Immigration meeting them. There are a few other reporters out here.
Yeah, I wonder why there's only reporters, but no one from the D.C. Office of Immigration meeting them. Perhaps because they only informed the reporters and not the fucking proper authorities, dude. You literally set this up. That's fucking insane to me. Like, that is insane. It's like, oh, no one from the immigration office is meeting them. I don't know. Maybe because you dropped these fucking people like they're bags, okay? Instead of real fucking full-fledged humans. And you set it up by sending reporters there. The only people that you informed were reporters.
Can you go into the front of that first of two buses and just ask the driver where they're from and who asked them to pull up in front of Kamala Harris's house?
Yeah.
Like, they sent them the, wait, what? I mean, we know who fucking told them to pull up in front of Kamala Harris's house. What are they trying to say, that Kamala Harris asked for them to come there? What the fuck? Does that seem like an appropriate location for them to be dropped off at? How do you fuck this up? You knew ahead of time. You knew ahead of time this was going to happen. How do you fuck this up?
I mean, there's irony involved in what they have done by shipping these two buses to the Naval Observatory, which it looks like you're right on Massachusetts Avenue. The vice president's house is just up the hill. She's in charge. She's the so-called border czar. So she's saying it's secure. And if two buses full of people who just walked across into this country on...
Dog, you did this. Who did this? You did. What is happening? I'm losing my fucking mind. Why are they making it seem like Kamala Harris was like, please come? Oh my God. Wait, this is so stupid. This has to be, dude, Democrats have to fucking flip this, dude. This is such a gimme. Press secretary says the fact that Fox News and not the Department of Homeland Security for the city or the city was notified in advance of Republican governor shipping migrants to D.C. Martha's Vineyard makes this clear there's a cruel, premeditated political stunt. Oh, does it suck to have migrants show up in your community uninvited and without preparation? That's crazy. Bro, that's so fucking insane. You are so cucked. You are so cucked. They're using your fucking tax dollars to do this, you idiot. They could have used it to, like, not do human trafficking and instead actually help these people relocate. What the fuck? Yo, people are so cucked. They're so
That's exactly
dumb.
right, Steve. And Governor Abbott's office tells us that they have chosen to drop the migrants off here outside of Vice President Harris's Naval Observatory home, specifically because of her comments on Meet the Press on Sunday, telling Chuck Todd that the border was secure, and it's obviously not.
Oh, my fucking Lord. Anyway, like we said, it's kind of backfiring on them. Hopefully, it continues to backfire on them. We confirm 50 migrants were flown to Martha's Vineyard and are being helped at a church. The men, women, and kids said they didn't know where they were, and Florida Governor Ron DeSantis told Fox he sent them as part of his relocation program for illegal immigrants. Where they landed, they just started walking until they found town offices. Governor DeSantis has promised to send migrants to progressive states. He told Fox News, states like Massachusetts, New York, and California will better facilitate the care of these individuals, which he's not wrong about. Like, that part is actually unironically not wrong. I do think that these states will most likely facilitate better care for these people, but the way that he's doing this relocation is literally fucking unjustifiable, cruel, inhumane, treating them not like they're human beings, but instead fucking baggage. Emergency officials on Martha's Vineyard are now asking for volunteers to help with the unexpected urgent humanitarian situation. And guess what? They are doing that already. So get fucked, you fucking animals. Absolute fucking dog shit, psychopathic, moronic baboons, dude. I fucking despise the Republican Party, which just runs a campaign of cruelty. That's it. And it's backfiring on them because human beings are not as fucking disgusting as these scumbags are. Here's a Martha's Vineyard person with some words. I was at St. Andrew's Church helping to feed these people. They were told they were going to Boston where housing and jobs were waiting for them. In other words, they were lied to. There were men, women, and children. They hadn't eaten anything since 6 a.m. What kind of depraved individual loads up 50 people onto a plane and dumps them in a strange place without even notifying anyone that they're coming? These are leaders. These are Christians. I'll tell you what, it's a disgusting political stunt at the expense of human beings just wanting to work and provide for their families. But you know what? On this island, we treated them with dignity, we fed them, we gave them medical attention, and we will give them a warm and safe place to sleep. Tomorrow, we will give them breakfast and help them figure out what's next, because on Martha's Vineyard, we won't turn our backs on people in need who are being abused by extremist Republican governors for some cheap soundbite on Fox News. Thank you to all the volunteers who were there. It restores my faith in humanity that we came together to help the people in need. Here's what the Ron DeSantis claim is now. He's trying to flip this as people are fucking yelling. Florida truckers.
Yes, if you have folks that are inclined to think Florida is a good place, our message to them is we are not a sanctuary state, and it's better to be able to go to a sanctuary jurisdiction. And yes, we will help facilitate that transport for you to be able to go to greener pastures.
Democratic states are greener pastures? Yeah, literally. He's saying Florida is not a green pasture, which is true. It's not. It is a human rights abuse to just make anyone live in Florida, let alone, migrants that are coming in.